Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. And he will find his man on the outside. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now we give to Taylor. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. He'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Quick hitch, complete. It's Jenkins. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Back to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On second down, here's Allen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Allen off the play fake. He's got a man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Banks. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Allen to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Jenkins. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. They'll try and throw for it here. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. So a touchdown. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And on the ground they go to the running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Over.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Allen looks to throw on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
first down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jenkins. And some room to roam now. They give him a gain of 38.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want it.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Leopard! Leopard! Four down, check, four down. Over!
Now they try the right side here. Room to run inside the 40. And some room to work. And finally taken down at the 15. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jenkins. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now they go screen. It's complete. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. A try here for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Gun!
Looking to throw on second down. Allen looking for his running back, and he's got it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Detroit! Detroit!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up to throw. And he's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Allen. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they'll go on the ground. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On play action, Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Seahawks, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.